I'm sure you've seen Moon
Yeah.
Knight.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So I saw Moon Knight too, as well, and I mean my first impressions was just like I went in no expectations, of course, and I'm watching it and I'm not too familiar with the character. I've never read. I'll be honest, I've never read a Moon Knight comic book, and all I know is that the lead actor. Or the two lead actors, I guess the antagonist, protagonist. Like I know them, and they do good work, and they pick good projects.
Yeah.
And this, I think, is a project that's a good one that they picked, and I enjoyed it like from beginning to end.
Fantastic.
Just like with Daredevil, you didn't see the costume until like way later. With this, didn't need the costume to enjoy it, and when we got it, it was cool moment when it did happen, and. Yeah, like overall, the show's good. That's what I can say. Now we can talk spoilers too. Like I don't,
okay.
At this point,
the spoiler warning is out there.
Spoiler
alert.
We're gonna
Yeah,
talk about all
say
the things. Like that first scene, man.
break it down. What was the first thing from the jump?
I've told a couple of friends who haven't seen the show yet.
Right.
They were like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "It's great. You have to watch it." I was like, "But the first scene, by the end of it, you're gonna be like." Because he freaking dumps the glass in his sandals and he starts walking and there's like they have the Foley, the sound effects. It's like
It's that.
I'm like, oh god,
that sets you up for something.
I think it
Made
was
you feel-
so smart that within 30 seconds, you had such a clear view of how much Arthur Harrow is unhinged.
Just how he lives, talking to his goldfish. He's got to unhook.
Arthur.
Sorry.
Yes.
Glass feet.
But the glass, yes, we're still on the glass.
Yeah,
feet.
like how.
Because, like, the regimented, like, he was
Yeah.
so brilliant that when he was doing his sequence of events, he had done it many, many times before. It was like clockwork, it was like muscle memory, like nothing was out of place. It was always so meticulous. And then the second he walks away on the glass-filled shoes, and with barely even a limp.
Yeah, he was used to it. You
could tell that he was used to it.
I was like, whatever his mission is, he's all in.
Yeah.
And full believer or whatever, a believer, or I don't know if he's supposed to be going believing or getting people to believe, but
yeah.
And they seen that he had followers and shit, and I was like, all right, so they ride or die. These people are gonna die for this man, and
I was wondering too, like if
die by this man's hand.
in some cases, yeah, but like I was wondering, we don't know what his powers are, like how exactly he like transfers his power or whatever. I'm like, does he need the pain to like stay super focused, or like what is that for? We don't know yet.
Right.
I also thought that you were gonna be completely disgusted. Like dips his finger in the water and then like drinks from it. I was like, he's not gonna like that at all. He's gonna hate
contaminating the water.
Yeah,
like contaminating.
He doesn't even like people touching the inside of his popcorn.
With the thumb.
Putting
the thumb in the popcorn. The movie theater is my pet peeve. Putting your thumb in a bucket of popcorn and handing the dude. When I went to see Morbius, which we'll talk about in a moment, I went to see Morbius. The dude did that, and I was like, can I just get some of the hot popcorn? But we're going off topic. How did y'all feel about? Well, let me tell you, the scenes where he would blank out. We miss a lot of action, and then it blank back in. I still didn't feel like I was missing action.
No, I felt like that was the perfect way to show it. Because you immediately establish that like he's our guy and we're with him.
Yes.
And so like we shouldn't be with him when he's not there.
Yeah.
And that's fun to like just. Especially when he's driving the car and like, give me control, and then boom, he's got the gun and he freaks out. It was so good, just like all of a sudden his hand is covered in blood, and you're like,
It's almost like old school unreliable narrator. Like those of us when you're like studying scripts and studying things, like it's so interesting as a viewer who doesn't know what's coming to be following a narrator who doesn't know what's coming. It's like there are some movies where audience knows and character does not.
Right.
But when you are step by step, beat by beat, in the same amount of space and knowledge as the character you're with, it's really exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it was a really good touch that every time he calls his mom, that it's a voicemail. And so, like, Like, she was never actually on the phone with him, so there's a thought of like, she dead? Is this just another coping mechanism he has? Like,
but you don't realize that until the very end of the first one.
Yeah, the first one it could have been either way, and then you find out again. Like, he just keeps calling that number.
I didn't.
Yeah, no one's ever on the other side of the phone
like that. Oh,
he's just chit chatting
to
nobody.
We both were like, I wonder if she is still alive.
I wonder who asked the girl on a date. That's what I want to know.
Oh, the alter ego, man.
Yeah,
whichever one is the.
There's contention about that though.
Oh, really?
There's contention. I've been on the interwebs.
All right.
Because
speak on the webs.
Mark Spector, who is the alter ego, the only other one that we've seen Steven talking to so far, we know from the comics is in a relationship with Layla.
Yeah.
Right.
So there is some contention as to why would Mark Spector, with an American accent, be asking out the British tour guide if he was already in a committed relationship with Layla.
That's true.
And so they're positing it's a third alter ego that we have not met yet.
Could be. Yeah,
I was about to say, how many do
in
we
the
know
comics,
of?
there's up to 5, but I think so far we only know
because
Mark.
The lady, he works with her, so if he spoke to her in an American accent,
she would wonder.
She would be like, "What are you doing? Why are you talking like
Correct.
that?" Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, so I guess we can't.
So
really
is it a
count on
different?
him.
Is it Mark putting on the British accent to sound like Steven and still doing it? But yeah, there are some questions about who it was.
Okay.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I know.
Intrigue. What was it? Something else. I was wondering. What was it? The other the flashing away. That was cool. What was it?
All of the mirrored moments and all of
so many reflections and stuff going on. So cool.
That was dope.
One while you think on that, one touch that I loved and it really stuck out to me was he's being chased by that giant dog, Anubis looking creature.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so the whole time it's just kind of a shadowy figure and it's chasing him, and then the second he turns into Moon Knight, the first thing you see is the dog trying to run out of the room, and it drags him back in. That tells you everything you need to know about how Moon Knight fights.
Yes,
or his presence that he brings to a fight. You're terrified.
And we got 6 episodes to see and more of that.
Yeah, you got this creepy monster that's trying to get away from Moon Knight. It's okay, this guy is terrifying to fight.
Were there any other questions that came up to you? Y'all want to know what's gonna next time?
Well, so I didn't know.
Gonna tell us
I think either of us, we didn't know anything really about Moon Knight either.
Yeah, I wasn't super versed.
So when he was in the hallway, and it was almost like the more horror aspect of that episode when he was in the hallway running away, and you saw that skeletal bird figure coming at him.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
I've done some research.
Okay.
Apparently, Khonshu, the Egyptian god that brings Mark back to life, that's how he's depicted, is as a bird, but not skeletal. The creepy as crap skeletal face with the floating head apparently was adapted for the show.
But it's not Khonshu?
It is Khonshu.
Oh, okay.
I think it plays super well.
But people were confused slightly because it's not exactly how you've seen him in the comics.
Yeah, which
he looks like a full bird in the comics.
Marvel takes their liberties. I think this is a good creative touch. I like it.
It was terrifying. Yeah. I literally think was on the couch and I'm like, I know they said this is supposed to be scary, but I don't like scary
things. It's scary?
Yeah, they said it was going to horror realm.
Oh, okay. It's like Doctor Strange a little bit. I wonder if I wonder how scary Doctor Strange is going to be.
Yeah, they said they wanted it to be like a horror movie, so.
I mean, I'm going to see it anyway, but I don't like scary.
Like Haunting of Hill House, that type of scary we're getting into. Oh, you haven't seen it? Nope. Have you seen it?
Haunting of Hill House? No.
Nope.
She doesn't watch it.
Nope.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I'm like, everyone, you love it. It's great.
All right. Were there any other highlights that y'all of the show?
I'm wondering because there's a lot of there's fun parallels you can find in comic book movies. You can see the boardroom of directors who don't care about any of this stuff.
Yeah, because
they saying, "What was that? That particular scene in the movie people liked? Do it again." So I'm wondering if people really liked the scene in Spider-Man Far From Home where the robot comes when Peter first puts on the glasses and hates the guy who's kind of hitting on MJ.
Yeah.
Because it's a fight. It's sort of like an action scene on a winding road on the edge of a cliff in a mountainous region. I'm like, this is very similar to Far From Home.
I didn't.
Is it just like people like that scene, so let's do something similar to that? Or if it's just, I mean, it could be one or the other. But I was just like, what are you doing? Is it?
Just wanted to show he was in a different country. He was in a different country, right?
Yeah, like I think
was
the
in
Alps.
Switzerland?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Switzerland. I think they said at one point.
Yeah.
What I really liked about it is that the creators really count on their audience being all in and paying attention and intelligent enough to keep up with what is happening. They don't pull any of their punches, and they don't string you along, and they don't hold your hand with a lot of it.
Yeah,
And
I like that.
There was so much packed into the first episode.
Yeah.
Yep. I was about to say,
A lot of questions go unanswered.
Yeah.
I was on when I saw that 45 minutes. We was gonna have about 45 minutes. I was like, let's see what they do with 45 minutes. So, and they did a lot.
So much, but it didn't feel rushed.
No, I did. That's what. Yeah.
Which was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's hard to put that much in and not feel rushed.
Like, we didn't even get, I would say, quote unquote, like, cool story stuff till probably like halfway through it.
Yeah.
Till he wakes up in Switzerland, and it's just like, what is going on? Like,
So-
oh, now we're in it.
And the guys are waving at him. He's waving.
Yes.
And they're like, they're
totally
shooting at him.
made sense.
Why are
Oh,
you
right.
waving at us out of nowhere?
One of the immediate things we said too, when it drops you into Oscar Isaac's, into Steven's room, the fact that they didn't show us Mark or how Mark got his powers or Khonshu or anything.
Right.
They just showed him with his nighttime routine of stand around the bed, tape on the door, ankle shackles, and like, again, treating your audience very smartly. Like, you get in there and you're like, oh, he's afraid of where he goes at night, and then the trying to not fall asleep with like the Rubik's cube, and this, it was just so well
So him
done.
having a journal entry. So this is
Yeah.
number 2 where I don't. Nah.
Yeah.
We know what's going on. Yeah. I mean, it clearly touches on your point.
There was almost no dialogue, if I
trustness.
remember correctly. There was a song,
Yeah.
I think,
Kind
playing
of like
in
him
the
just,
background.
doing
just
his
him
thing
doing
for a
his
while.
And then the dialogue of whatever the sleep, trying not to fall asleep soundtrack was. But he had almost no dialogue.
And I loved Oscar Isaac's just like character work. Like, he's just so like, you've seen him in other movies, like especially like perfect example, Poe from Star Wars. He is so headstrong and self-confident, and then you got him running, oh hi, excuse me please. And then you know you get to Mark Spector in the mirror, and he's like, look, give me control, and he's like so like focused and like type A, and he's like, what? Like, it's he's doing a great job.
Yeah, but it's greatly casted.
Psyches.
Greatly
He's
casted.
so good.
Greatly casted.
Yeah.
I know he said he wasn't going to do Star Wars anymore, so Disney was like, we got this other thing for you.
Well, it was interesting. Him and what's the name of the other actor?
The antagonist, Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke.
You know, yeah.
So Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke both said in interviews that they signed up for Moon Knight specifically because it was going to be, to a certain extent, like disconnected from the MCU. Like, it was going to be more self-contained. There was going to be a bunch of like crossover with other characters. They were saying they liked it because it was so self-contained.
Yeah, I was wondering how they would get Ethan Hawke involved.
Yeah,
So,
like
he was,
serious, like heavy-hitting actors.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah. But I do like how they didn't like not force feed, but like feed the audience shit and just let you figure it out on your own. The scene where he woke up in the room, it touched on your point of just us being with this one character throughout the whole story. That's what I love. That's why I think they didn't have to tell us anything, and then I think they didn't have to have so much action because that was interesting enough just to follow this character with this going through what he's going through. Just seeing that, like, for me, like, I didn't need any action in this episode. I just needed these, like, because they say it's the question that drives us. There was so many questions, like, what is he going through?
Yeah.
This is actually an interesting case study on people with this, like, disability.
Yeah.
Disability or this affliction.
Yeah, probably affliction is a good word for
I
it.
say disability,
Yeah,
but
I wonder.
and it's scary in itself. That's scary in itself.
Losing time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact of losing time is really terrifying.
So that got me all in right there. And then, we get the Egyptian gods and the scaries and all the other crazy shit going on involved. And, I'm
and
there
Donna.
for it.
Yeah, this
Donna.
random person on the phone.
Yeah. Donna.
She's rude. She's
You got
rude.
any theories going forward of what might happen where it goes? I have no expectations. I just want to be...
I hope there's an episode. Like, I know we were talking about, like, I didn't miss the action in this first episode, like when he skips time.
Yeah.
I would be really interested if they had a whole episode where it was from Mark Spector's perspective.
That's what I was
Where it's
wondering.
like all the
like,
time he misses, we catch it on like the second episode.
Yeah, I was wondering, would that...
Or if anything, they might just keep the story going, but then switch it to Mark's POV. You know what I mean? Where
like we don't go backwards in time.
We don't go backwards in time,
progressing.
but things that are progressing now we see from Mark's perspective.
Unless,
you know,
let's say, like they do that, which I think would be dope.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know what's gonna happen, but if they do like episode 2 is from the other perspective, and we're getting more information.
Yeah,
because he's doing something while this guy is sleeping. Like he wakes up, I mean, you know, the board was moved and something was like that happened somehow, and then to be able to see that, but as like give us more information as far as the story goes, I think would be dope. But and then like episode 3, it's like, all right, now we move on from there. If episode 1 and 2 are from a different perspective and connect somewhere, I think that would be brilliant.
And then 3, it has both perspectives, and we can ride with both. of them,
and now
we know both of them.
And they don't have to do that again. But I think that would be great writing. Oh, that's
the director has said there's something really interesting where it was, I think, like a Variety interview with him, that he almost took the season in 2s. He did not say anything more than that, except that he viewed it as almost like 3 movies. Episode 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 5 and 6.
So they probably won't go back then. But
so it's very interesting that like he purposefully did not give anything more than that.
Yeah.
But that like exactly what you're saying, like Mark getting Mark later, like maybe Mark comes in later. I have no idea what that means, but it's really interesting, I think.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So overall,
great, man.
All
Loved
in.
It. I'm all in on it. I have exciting questions that I want answered, and I'm ready for more.
Poor Steven. Oh, it's really crushing, isn't it? When he's not able to be the tour guide, like, he's just his rambling. Just
want to ask you a quick question, isn't it?
It's quite crushing, isn't it?
What?
You just
can't
have to
even answer a question. I know.
The steakhouse dinner.
She's a hater. Oh,
so sad, man. Also,
Sunday.
That was one thing I did want to say.
You missing 2 days though.
One thing I wanted to say. What kind of piece of crap steakhouse are you running?
That is all over the internet.
The guy cannot decide what kind of steak he wants. Well done, then. Excuse you?
Yeah, give me a
well done.
The vegan should not be blamed for the well done steak. Even the vegan should not be blamed. The waiter
it was
who
the
works
waiter.
at the steakhouse.
The internet was blowing up about that.
Steak. What kind of steakhouse are you?
The internet blew up about that.
Yeah, offering them. You're a steakhouse. You don't. Well done. I don't know if
I'll give you a moment.
Well done is like, how dare you?
Well done then.
Like, okay, I guess I'll just have no like flavor or tenderness in the
I
steak.
also really related
well
to
done,
Steven in that moment because as a vegan myself,
there you go.
I have had to call him. Story time. Quick segue. He likes having like pepperoni at home as a snack, and so I was at the store. He does, and I was at the store, and it said like turkey pepperoni, chicken pepperoni, or beef and pork pepperoni.
Oh God.
And I was like, which one is the regular
Which
pepperoni?
one is normal
Meat
pepperoni?
overload.
She doesn't know what animal pepperoni is from.
So like when Steven is saying like the best bit.
What kind of steak?
The
that
best bit of the
the
that
best
one.
bit.
I relate to that so heavily because I wouldn't know.
The thigh.
All the
the ear.
Just-
Heart. Steak's ear.
Ugh,
Oh God.
No. But yeah, that was quite human. It humanized him.
Yeah.
I don't like a bloody
well.
steak though.
You don't like a bloody steak?
I don't like a bloody. Do you like
You're a
bloody
well-done
steak?
I don't take it rare.
I
But
don't like a steak.
Take it like
I
medium
don't
rare
like
to medium.
Well, speaking of blood, I know we all seen Morbius
Ooh.
over the week.
Nate, you're
What's
a
up?
genius.
I'm just saying.
Brilliant
Segue.
segue. Let's take a moment.
Round of
Everyone,
applause for Nate.
round of applause for
Great
that
creativity.
beautiful
Some more-
segue.
Well done.
Am I being patronized? Am I being patronized?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. That was a beautiful
That was
segue.
great.